Good afternoon, everyone. I want to welcome everyone this afternoon. National Police Youth Club Awards 2021. All right, first we'll have the national anthem, so if we can all stand as we acknowledge the national anthem. All right, thank you everyone again. You can sit. And before we move on, just want to acknowledge in our midst the area representative for Mason Hall, Honorable Ian Pollard. I also want to acknowledge Assistant Superintendent of Police, Mr. Rodale Cook. Also in our midst, the Sergeant in charge of Community Police Relations Tobago Division, Ms. Marlene Beard. We also want to acknowledge two police youth club leaders in our midst. First, we have Ms. Sandra Rocheford, leader of the Signal Hill Police Youth Club. We also have Mr. Larry Brathwaite, leader of the Mount St. George Police Youth Club. So next on our agenda, we'll have an opening prayer by Mr. Stelvon Jack.
Let's close our eyes, please. Dear Lord and Heavenly Father, as we are about to start, dear Lord, make it be successful, dear Lord, in everything we do here today, dear Lord. God, and protect each and every one of us, dear Lord. In Jesus' holy name I pray. Amen.
Thank Mr. Jack for that prayer. Also in our midst, we want to acknowledge the Director of the Division of Sport and Youth in Tobago House of Assembly, Ms. Anne-Marie Degazon. All right, now we are going to have a welcome address by the Assistant Leader of the Mason Hall Police Youth Club, Ms. Kim Franklin. Give a round of applause as she comes to the mic.
Pleasant evening to all of you. It's a great honor and privilege to welcome you most warmly on this cold day to Motivational Police Youth Club's Award Function 2021. Our club is indeed pleased to host this event, which was designed to celebrate the success and the achievements of the children who willingly represent the youth club here in Motivational. I am delighted to welcome all the distinguished guests who have graced us with their presence in this time, which has its limitations based on the regulations that exist for COVID prevention. Today, not only will we be listening attentively to what our speakers have to say, but I trust and believe that the continued support of our members, parents, and the well-wishers will only multiply as we share in the development of the males and females affiliated with the Motivational Police Youth Club. Before I go any further, let me take this opportunity to thank all our distinguished guests, parents, athletes, members of the media, everyone who's in attendance for attending this function. This is an indication of your acceptance and support of the Motivational Police Youth Club as we continue to serve the community of Mason Hall and environs. From the Motivational Police Youth Club again, a warm welcome, and we do hope you enjoy our function as we recognize excellence and development.
So can we give our assistant leader a round of applause? All right, next on our agenda, we have our first performer of the afternoon, Mr. Hassani, or he'll be playing the piano, so give him a round of applause and come through. Okay, let's give a round of applause again. That was well done. Young aspiring pianist. And all the performance are about you this afternoon. Right, next on our agenda, we have the Assistant Superintendent of Police in Tobago Division, Mr. Ronald Kirk. He will deliver the opening remarks for us this afternoon. Round of applause as he comes to the podium.
Good afternoon to one and all. First of all, my name is Rodale Kirk, Superintendent Acting, Tobago Division, with responsibility for administration. Before I go on, I would like to recognize Mr. Ian Pollard, Area Representative, Ms. Anne-Marie Digazon, Director of Sports, Youth Affairs. I want to recognize Mr. Edwards and his team, parents, supporters, other police officers present, and most importantly to you, the nominees. I've been asked to the opening remarks this afternoon. Well, we all know that we are gathered here in recognition of achievement, youth achievement. And I want to take a quote from Texas legislator, Mr. John Adrians, that says, educating and supporting the youth is the best way to invest in a prosperous future. Right? And today we are about supporting the youth. It brings joy to my heart to know that Mr. Edwards and his team makes all that effort in terms of bringing the youths on board, in terms of having them in line, so to speak. Today, a lot of our youths are going astray, and for various reasons, may be responsible for it. But to see that we have a team of people who are bent on bringing back that level of mentoring to the youths is something good, is a positive achievement for Tobago and Maesnall by extension. So I would just like to encourage all the persons who are here today to receive their awards, and I want to challenge you, don't just stop here. And don't look at education as just academic. Education involves many different areas in life skills, music, like the musical performance, the wonderful performance that was just done by the gentleman in the corner, performing arts, sports, all these are part of education. And believe me, I have been a beneficiary of educating myself. And education really opened doors, not only within the borders of Trinidad and Tobago, but beyond. And I could tell you that from personal experience. So, I challenge all of you today, from after receiving your award and you celebrate and so on, have the mindset that you all will be achievers and long-term achievers. Make us proud. Again, I want to congratulate all of you who are about to receive your awards, and I wish you well. Thank you, and good afternoon.
So let's still give our ASP another round of applause. It's always good to hear from the police officers, especially in these times. Right. Next on our agenda, we'll go into the nominees for Female Athlete of the Year. So each person will come up initially, and then we will announce who is the Female Athlete of the Year. So, with no further ado, I will hand the mic to Ms. Jack, who will outline the performances of the Female Athlete of the Year. So we'd like to call on ASP Cook once more to come on the stage so we'll hand out the awards to the nominees. Then we'll have the announcement of the Female Athlete of the Year.
Good day, everyone. So, the nominees for the Female Athletes of the Year, we have Janelle Campbell, Janelle can be described as one of the more entertaining track athletes of the 2020 season. She has proven the size does not matter when it comes to performance. Janelle won the 100 and 200 meter events at both National Association of Athletics Administration of Trinidad and Tobago, held in Tobago at the Dwight York Stadium. She also won the 100 and 200 meters event at both her school bishops, track and field sport meet, and the Tobago Secondary Schools Track and Field Championship. At the National Secondary School Championships, she placed second in the 100-meter final and anchored her school to the gold medal in the relay final. Janelle was also the only Tobago under 17 female to run under 13 seconds in the 100-meter. At the National Carifta Trials, Janelle unfortunately false started in the 100-meter but placed second in the shot put event. Can we have a round of applause for Janelle Campbell? Our second nominee for Female Athlete of the Year, we have Joelle Williams. Joelle cannot be here with us today. Joelle is also one of those athletes who tasted success in a short period of time. Joelle, in her first year at Signal Hill Comprehensive School, was the first female to complete her school cross-country race. Joelle also captured the girls under 1500 meters and 3000 meters titles at the Tobago Secondary School Track and Field Championship. Can we have a round of applause for Joelle Williams? Our last nominee for Female Athlete of the Year. Okay. Sienna would collect on Joelle's behalf. Our last nominee for Female Athlete of the Year is Angel Davidson. Angel's athletic career started in September 2019, and in 5 months, she made her mark on the local track and field circuit. Angel's first event was the Tobago Cross Country Championships, where in the 2 kilometers race, she placed third in the under 15 category. She also competed with distinction in the Tobago Primary School Track and Field Zonals, where she qualified in the 100 and 200 and 400 meters for the championships. Competing in the under 15 girls category at the Tobago Primary School Championships, Angel placed second in the 100 and 200 events and won the 400 meters title. Can we have a round of applause for Angel? So these are the nominees for Female Athlete of the Year, and The prize for the winner of Female Athlete of the Year goes to Janelle Campbell. Well done.
Okay, just want to announce that this prize was sponsored by Tobago House of Assembly along with Paradise Store located at Sansas Hill, Scarborough. I just want persons to acknowledge that, in actually presenting these awards, we looked at 3 main aspects. Now, we wanted to give the athletes something to remember. So that's where the trophy comes in. Again, we wanted to give them, a start in life encouraging savings. So part of the awards will be a saving account at a financial institution. And again, we also wanted the athletes to have something that they could use right now. So part of the awards too will be a voucher. So most of the athletes will receive a trophy, the winner of each category, a voucher, and a saving account. So I think that we did well. So thank you, right? Next on the program, we'll have a performance by 2 young ladies of the group. The name of the 2 ladies are Selena and Sienna Jack. So call them to the stage. They'll be singing a cappella. We call them to the stage.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Give thanks with a grateful heart. Give thanks to the Holy One. Give thanks because He's given Jesus Christ, His Son. Give thanks with a grateful heart. Give thanks to the Holy One. Give thanks because He's given Jesus Christ, His Son. And now let the weak say, I am strong. Let the poor say, I am rich because of what the Lord has done for us. And now let the weak say, I am strong. the poor say I am rich because of what the Lord has done for us. Give thanks. Give thanks with a grateful heart. Give thanks to the Holy One. Give thanks because He's given Jesus Christ, His Son. And now let the weak say I am strong. Let the poor say I am rich because of what the Lord has done for us. And now let the weak say I am strong. Let the poor say I am rich because of what the Lord has done for us. Give thanks. Give thanks. Give thanks.
So that is two young ladies from the group. So we decided this afternoon, through all the financial constraints, to have the members of our club do most of the performances this afternoon. And I think they deserve another round of applause. So can you round of applause? Right now we'll have the nominees for the Male Athlete of the Year. Again, we call on Ms. Jack to read the synopsis of each athlete. So we have a
Male Athletes of the Year. First we have Israel Banister. Banister, who is the national under 12 800 meters record holder, started in 2020 track and field season by winning the Tobago Cross Country Championship under 15 title. He also won the boys under 15 100 and 400 meters titles at the first National Association of Athletics Administration of Trinidad and Tobago development meet held at Dwight York Stadium. At the National Secondary School Championships, Banister also captured the boys under 15 1500 meters title. Let's have a round of applause for Banister. He's not here today. Our next nominee for the Male Athlete of the Year, we have Jaden Phillips. Jaden was a triple gold medalist at the Tobago Primary School's Track and Field Championships. Jaden conquered his peers in the 100 meter, 200 meters, and long jump events. Jaden feat earned him the MPV trophy among the under 15 boys. Let's have a round of applause for Jaden. Our next Male Athlete of the Year we have is Jarrell Campbell, who is not here as well today. Jarrell was our best performing under 17 male sprinter of 2020. Jarrell ran the second fastest sprint time at the first National Association of Athletics Administration of Trinidad and Tobago development meet, held at Dwight York Stadium. Jarrell also won the bronze medal in the 100 meters event at the Tobago Secondary School Championships. Let's have a round of applause for Jarrell Campbell.
Okay, we'd like to call on the Sergeant of the Tobago Community Police Section to present this award. Please, we'll call on Ms. Beard. Unfortunately, one of the recipients had an engagement in Trinidad, so the winners of the Male Athlete of the Year award goes to Jaden Phillips and Israel Banister. So we thank Ms. Beard, and this award was given out on behalf of the representative for Charlottesville, Mr. Farley Augustus. So, right now, before we hand out any more awards, we'd like to have our feature address this afternoon should be in the form of a motivational speech. And we have someone who is no stranger in terms of dealing with young people. And as we know, she's the director in the Division of Youth and Sports. So we call on Miss Anne-Marie Degozon a round of applause this afternoon.
Good evening, everyone. Area Representative, Mr. Ian Pollard, Assistant Superintendent, Mr. Roland Cook, Sergeant in charge of the Community Policing Unit, my friend and colleague, Officer in charge of the Mason Hall Police Youth Club, Executive of the Youth Club, members, other youth club leaders who are here. Now, I'm really pleased to be here with you this evening, and I've thought about what I should say, and I'm speaking particularly to the young persons here this evening who are achievers in their own right. And I'm trying to tame what I have to say to make sure that it's within a formal context, as well as understanding that I'm speaking to young persons who are achievers. Right. So let's go. Now, being youth, especially when you're within the age group of 12 to 15, let's go a little older than that, probably 12 to 17. What's the one thing you think about most in life? having something. What do you think about? A lot of young people today tell me the first word that comes up, how are you today? I'm bored. And you know. So if you're not bored, what do young people want to have? What's the word? Fun. Fun, ain't it? Come on, adults, we're not so old. When I was a child, all I wanted to do was have fun. And if it had no fun, I'm bored. And things have not changed very much. And so, I raked my brain for what do I say to these young people out here who are achievers in their own rights, who have been excelling, who have been blazing the trail and achieving. What do I say to you? And let me be honest with you. It really only came together and hit me on my way up here this evening. I wrote some things before and then it just wasn't sitting well with me. And then it was like the Lord put the word into my mind. And he said, listen me, go and tell those young people in Mason Hall this evening, have some fun. If you ain't having fun, it ain't worth doing it. But let me tell you how you must have some fun. Right? Any kind of fun. Now, for me, before I was 11 years old, I was a boy. Sounds strange, but I knew how to have fun. I play cricket, I roller skate, I skateboard, I go in the bush and catch dove, I play Tarzan by the river, I do all manner of things. I know about having fun, but I want to introduce you to 3 little concepts today that I want to stay with you forever. Now I'm using this technology kind of thing. The first word I want you to remember, the first letter of the word F, fun, is F, right? F. For an athlete, for a young person, F is about focus. I want you to remember the word focus. Focus speaks to being the center of all of your activities. I was reminded quite recently that when you're riding a bicycle, if you don't focus, you are going to fall off. I can't ride at all. I just couldn't get the concept of riding properly because I couldn't focus. A little fast sometimes. I like to watch the birds and the trees, and I'm told you can't do that if you're riding a bicycle. You got to focus. For an athlete, focusing is an important thing, ain't it? But what do you focus on? I remember, I won't say this, she'll say I'm talking her business, but a young lady that I know, she went to a professional meet for the first time. And there she was going down, out front, doing nice, running the race. And she was hearing the cheers in the stadium, hearing the cheers, and it was getting louder. And she was nearing almost about the last 100 meters to the finish line. And as the cheers went louder, she did what? End of the race. Race done. Focus is about paying attention to the little details, to the bigger picture. Focusing means that it is the center of your being. It's about, it becomes who you are, what you do. The organ in our body that helps to keep us focused is the eyes. Where you look, that's where you will go. The footballer knows that. Because as he's dribbling coming down the road, if he takes his eyes off the goal, the ball goes where you look. Focus. Second word, you. Understanding. Why is understanding important for an athlete? A definition of understanding is an individual's perception or judgment of a situation. For the long jumper, you got to determine how far you reach, where you step on the board. Your perception of a situation determines how far you will go. And we know that, athletes? Understanding. But understanding sometimes gets a little deeper than that. Understanding speaks to knowing your field of play, knowing the rules of the game, understanding the boundaries within which you have to operate, knowing your opponents, understanding their speed, knowing your numbers, knowing what to do in a step-by-step arrangement, understanding. Now this have a lot of other life applications which sometimes we tend to miss. Third little word, numbers. And maybe you may ask me, what does numbers have to do with anything if you're talking about achieving and growing? But I want to use a definition of the word number, which is different to the mathematical definition. Focus. Understanding. So the definition I want to use of the word number is a figure or a group of figures used to identify someone or something. Why is this important? What relevance does it have? And I want to ask an athlete. Could one of our athletes just stand for me? Anyone? Any one of our athletes? What's your number? Do you know your number? Have a seat. What's your number? Right in the back, blue stripe jersey. What's your number? Not sure? Up in front. Let me hear. What's your number? Tell me your number. 080 2080. Love the interpretation. What's your number? Young man with the blue. Yes. Not sure. Have a seat. Akeem Stewart, 63.7. 2019, shot put. Atto Bolden, 19.77, 200 meter. Kellyanne Baptiste, 11.09, 100 meter, 2019. Lalon Gordon, 31.92, 300 meter, 2017. Hazley Crawford, number 1. He was the first Olympian in Trinidad and Tobago. You may not remember anything else, but you will remember his number. Sometimes our names are not important. It's our number. Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. A number, not just a mathematical formula. It's ascribed to something, someone. For an athlete, you got to know your number. You're not competing against John or Janet or Dick or Harry. You're competing against a number. What's your number? So as you remain focused on attaining your goal and you understand your field of play, remember your number. Have fun. Do what you set out to do. Don't get distracted. There are other numbers that we have bandying about the place that have been ascribed to many young people. I visited the prisons recently and they said to me there are about 30 young men in prison. Of that number, 10 of them are between the ages of 19 and 35, defined as youth of Tobago. What's your number? One in 5 persons are being abused. What's your number? What are you going to ascribe to you? And that's the challenge that I want to put out to you today. That's the thing that I want to motivate you to move forward. Recognize that when I searched all over looking for what was the time. I think I finally found it somewhere. Ainsley Crawford, 10.06 was his number. 1976, fastest man in the world. Tell me. I'll ask the question again. I'll ask it a little differently. In the blue jeans. Stand again. What number are you? Huh? Shout it. What number do you want to be? This time next year, when I ask you, what's your number? What will it be? Number 1. What event? (100 meter). What time? Shout it. What time? No, hopefully, what time? 10.08. Where's mommy? Mommy, daddy, uncle? Anybody here with you today? Okay. Youth club leader. Where are you? What's his number going to be next year this time? Number 1. Time? 10.08. Have a seat. What's your number? Let's do it fast. What's your number? Next year, this time, what's your number? Yes, you. What time? 11. What event? 100 meter. Time. And now it's my time. So I want you to remember, as you go forward, Parents, leaders, help them to remain focused, help them to understand the context within which they are operating, help them to understand the challenges so that they can surmount them, help them to understand the things that they need to do to transition and to grow as good, healthy citizens, help them to know their numbers, identify it, let them be number one in this world as young people, to stand firm for what they believe in and to attain their goals. Thank you very much.
Okay, by the round of applause, I can tell that everyone was listening and it was well accepted. All right, we'll have the following awards as we term as Motivational Awards. Persons that did well, even though that they didn't really reach to the top. We saw the effort and we are expecting better performances as the year goes by. All right, the first person we would like to call on stage, and we call the Youth Club leader of Signal Hill to come on stage and present these awards. So we call on Miss Rochefort Jacob. All right, the first individual that we'll call is Bud Melville. Well, he's actually the youngest athlete in our club. Well, he surprised everyone last year when he actually ran the Tobago cross country and national cross country event. At 6 years old, he actually finished the course and actually beat some of the other competitors in the race. So we call Mr. Bud Melville Jr. Alright, the other award is, this section is Mr. Selvon Jack. He actually started his athletic career in 2019, actually late 2019, and he was able to go on to win his school, which is Roxburgh Secondary School. My apologies, Global Secondary School cross country event. So Another award in this category is Mr. Jaquan Fraser. He actually started off the season as the fastest under-17 athlete in the Tobago Development Meet Series. Right? So, as he was saying a while ago, he wanted to run 10:08 by the end of the season. Well, if you run 10:08, you sure going character. So, Mr. Jaquan Fraser, one of our motivational awards this afternoon. Alright, so we want to thank the leader of Signal Hill Police Club for handing out these awards. Thank you, Ms. Jacob. Just move into it. Yeah. All right, so Mr. Member is enjoying his photo session. I just want to indicate that all the trophies this afternoon are sponsored by the Division of Youth and Sport Affairs. All right, our next awardee this afternoon is in the award in the field of education. So we'll call on Ms. Jack again to read a synopsis of this individual.
This recipient has successfully completed 2 years of CAPE Level 6 form at Signal Hill Secondary School and is presently in her 2nd year at the University of the West Indies, St. Augustine, Trinidad. An entrepreneur, a leader, and an influencer is Miss Danique Edwards. During her 2 years at the Signal Hill Secondary School, Miss Edwards can proudly exclaim that she has left an indelible mark. In 2018, after completing her Unit 1 CAPE examinations, Miss Edwards placed 9th in the area of performing arts in the Caribbean and 2nd in Trinidad and Tobago. With this achievement, she determined that in her 2nd year of 6th form, pursuing her Unit 2 CAPE examinations, that she would place first both in Trinidad and Tobago and in the Caribbean. In 2019, her dreams of placing first for performing arts drama was realized. Let's have it for Danique Edwards.
So we'd like to call on Ms. Anne-Marie Degazon, Director of Youth and Sports, to present this award. Okay, this award was presented by the Tobago House of Assembly and Nancy's Electrical Services. Next on our program, we'll have what we term as one of the most important awards of this afternoon, which is the Club Icon Award. So again, we call on Ms. Jack to read the synopsis of this individual. And we'd like to call on our area representative, Mr. Ian Pollard, to present this award.
This individual is a fitting recipient of our Icon Award. She began athletics training with Mason Hall Police Youth Club in September of 2019. During that period, she has proven to be the most disciplined, hardworking, and committed individual. She is also a grade A student at the Scarborough Methodist Primary School. Her first competitive event was the 2020 Tobago Cross Country Championships, where she was first among the under 15 girls to finish the 2nd kilometer course and won the under 12 female title. She subsequently competed at the National Cross Country Championships in Trinidad, where she occupied 2nd position in the female under 12 category. At the Tobago Primary Schools, 3 kilometers championships. She was the lone representative from her school and went on to capture the open female title, finishing a clear 150 meters over her closest competitor. Competing at the Tobago Primary School's Track and Field Championships held in February last year at the Dwight York Stadium, she emerged an easy winner in the open female 1200 meters event. Do your best and you will achieve is her simple advice to young persons. The winner of the Club Icon Award goes to none other than Selena Jack.
Okay, this prize was sponsored by Tobago Downtown Electrical and the Tobago House of Assembly Youth and Sport Departments. Now, this award that I'm going to announce is sponsored by our area representative, Mr. Ian Pollard. Now, this is for the Football of the Year 2019 because, as you all will know, we had no football in 2020. Now, this individual was actually described by his coach as always being timely for matches and for training, and he's always at training. He was also described as the club's inspirational midfield player. And most important, he was also described as the leader among his other peers. Unfortunately, he could not be here this afternoon. The individual Mr. Brandon Joseph, so we'll actually call on Mr. Sylvan Jack to receive the award on his behalf. So we call our representative to present the award on behalf of Mr. Brandon Joseph. So we call on Mr. Jack to receive the award on his behalf. All right, we'll have to call on Mr. Pollard again as he comes to the stage to deliver an address. I'm not sure if this is his maiden address. I can also say that he was at one point in time the coach of the Mason Police Youth Club team. And just to add that he was the coach that took the first ever Mason Hall team to the first division of the Tobago Football Association. Give me a round of applause.
Pleasant good afternoon to everyone. Excuse the voice, I'm a bit tired. Let's say a special good afternoon to ASP Kirk, Miss Degazon, my schoolmate, all leaders of the Police Youth Club in various districts, parents, recipients, and the Motivational Police Youth Club especially. Now I would like to talk about different issues. And one of the focal points is that the Police Youth Club, the role that you all are playing throughout Tobago and Trinidad. Because when you look around our community, there's not much clubs operating anymore. So you all are really filling a void, and which you must continue because you are doing a splendid job. Because if you look at society today, and the police youth clubs are not involved, the kids have no sense of direction, no sense of leadership. So your role is very important. I think I must mention that to you all, and keep up the good work. We know it's not going to be easy all the time, but keep up the good work. And especially to the Motivational Police Youth Club. As Dexter said, I coached the football team in 2003, to the first time ever going to the Premier Division in the Tobago Football League. And for Dexter and his committee to be operating 20 years of doing this, they must be commended. Because Dexter is a very dedicated person, and without him in our community, I don't know where we would be in molding these young persons. Because I've seen where the police youth club have morphed from football into having an athletic club, and that is so good that you are recognizing children for the different achievement, and we would like to support you in any way. I, as the area representative, for as long as it may be, you could count on me as a partner to support you. And you know, many times we say in life that the young kids doesn't want anything. But it's because senior folks like myself get detached from the community because we have so much to do. We have so much time, we don't have enough time to put back what we have gotten into the community or to invest it back into the children. And that is something I think that the police youth clubs in all districts must find a way of getting the persons in the community that let it come and give back, because it's important, because in order to shape the minds of the young ones, they have to get it from the persons who have experience and will guide them. Now, to the recipients of the awards, I will first like to congratulate you all on the hard work that you have done. And as ASP Kirk says, and Ms. Digazor, this must not be the end. Always challenge yourself for greatness. Always look to go above and beyond. Do not settle for the status quo. Do not settle for where you are this year. I like what Ms. Digazor did by challenging you all as to know where you must be next year or at the end of this year. And always dig deep. Always challenge yourself. Challenge yourself for greatness. There's a saying that if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. So as Ms. Digazor said, always stay focused. Stay focused on the goal. Stay focused on what you want out of life. Because I know I used to be an athlete like you all, but as soon as I went into secondary school, I thought that was beyond me. So I put aside athletics, and I went into football. But once you stay focused in life, and most of all, discipline. With discipline, you could achieve anything in life. If you are not disciplined, you're in for a lot of problems. And you must remember that you are representing an umbrella that is brought up. Our foundation is about discipline. The police association is about discipline. And you must remember what you represent. You're not just representing your club name. You're representing the police youth club. It's an organization about discipline. And we must always remember that and walk proud. And you do not have to, even though you have to be the person that is not the favorite person, but do not follow others in doing wrong. You must be an exemplar. You must always remember that you are representing the body. When I was a footballer at high school, I spent most of my years playing for Sinclair Coaching School. And that is discipline. being in that organization is discipline. So we had to comport ourselves the way a professional athlete would, even off the field. Because professionalism doesn't start when you're on the field, it's a way of life. So I will urge you, young men and young women, to keep reaching for the stars. But I have a saying that I usually tell my kids, and I tell everyone, never shrink your dreams to suit your pocket or your income. Increase your income to suit your dreams. It's going to be challenging. Nothing doesn't come easy. Dwight York didn't make it professionally by going through or skipping practice or giving up. You're going to meet challenges in life. You are not to give up. You have to keep working hard and stay focused and dedicated to what you're doing. And most of all, like I said, remain disciplined. Discipline is the key. So I don't want to take much more of your time, but I'd just like to say to the Post Youth Club, as your representative, I'm here to work with you all. And I hope that the other 11 assemblymen could work with the Police Youth Club throughout Tobago to make a better society. Thank you.
Well, I just want to quickly assure our representative that you'll have plenty working to do because we have lots of projects lined up this year and beyond. I want to thank him for making that gesture that he's always there to support us. I said even before he was representative, he was a big supporter of our club. As I said, he was actually the coach, and he can take the accolade as the first coach to take a baseball team to the Premier Division of the Tobago Football Association. All right, just to acknowledge some persons here quickly. We want to acknowledge Superintendent Cook. I know we was giving him the wrong title for the times from the persons. So just a correction, he's not ASP, he's now Superintendent Cook. We want to thank him for coming. We want to thank our representative, Mr. Ian Pollard, also Ms. Degazon.